Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara Taylor Designs, and today I have this really cool ephemera filled purple folio to show you. So let's jump right in. So to create this, it is actually a digital file you can download from My Porch Prints. I'll have a link to their Etsy shop in the description below. And I think it cost me $5 Canadian to buy this kit. You do have to be able to print it and you will need to cut it out, but it creates such a cool folio and I really wanted to share that with you guys today. So these are the main two pieces of the folio. As you can see, I already have everything cut out. I didn't want to show you guys fussy cutting because you've seen me do that before. I do it all the time. If you have any questions about fussy cutting, leave them in the description below and I will answer them. But it's pretty straightforward and this is pretty forgiving. For this one piece here though, I did print on both sides. So I printed the main folio piece, which is what you see. And then here, these two sides have a piece of like pattern paper printed on them that also comes in the kit. Everything for the first while here came in the kit. And then I'll show you, or I'll tell you when we get closer to the end of the video, what I added myself to make this a little more special. But everything came in the kit. And as I said, it was like $5 Canadian. So I'm assuming that's like $3 American, probably a little less, $2.50 maybe. It's pretty inexpensive and you get to support a creative company and a woman-owned business. So pretty great all around. So next, this is this lace piece. And of course, everything at this point is still printed on cardstock. I did print the two folio pieces on my HammerMill cardstock because that is my preferred heavyweight cardstock. And then all of the ephemera pieces I printed on Neenah Solar White 80 pound. You can use whatever cardstock's your preference. Because I mail stuff like this, I try really hard to make it really sturdy, but not insanely bulky. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like a practice. But this is the kind of thing that I love to send to my pen pals, or I have a happy mail list on this channel. You can join it if you want to. There's a link in the description. And I pick names randomly throughout whatever time frame, and I send stuff like this to people on my happy mail list or to my pen pals. So I really enjoy it. That's why when I see things like this that I can kind of print and just make, it's a lot of fun as just kind of a relaxation for my mind because I don't have to come up with a project. I just get to sit down and create it. And that's a lot of fun to me. So I do really enjoy that. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So I did cut out all these pieces and you can see that I've brought in my scoreboard for any pieces that need to be scored. There are a few different ones because there are some envelopes and there are some tucks and pockets and whatnot. So you do have to score a few things. You could fold them yourself. That's not a problem. But I like to use my scoreboard just because I find it easier to do. And then here we're going to just add all of the pockets. So there's kind of this larger pocket and I actually built my folio backwards technically. In the example pictures that come with the folio, they have this part on the outside and I chose to put it on the inside with that really beautiful lace bit. But there's no wrong way to build the folio. It's just completely up to you and how you want to put it together. This is how I decided it would look great, so that's kind of what I went with, but there's no right or wrong way to build it. So I did adhere the 3 pockets on the inside and then I'm going to start working on the front of the folio. This has a whole bunch of great pockets, so you are only going to adhere the 3 sides, which is what I'm showing here, but there's no wrong way to build it. You could put any of the pockets on any part you want to. If you don't want to hide some of the cardstock, you could easily, rip the top of the pocket and give it a more textured look. Like there's quite a bit of versatility and freedom to go with whatever you want to do here. I'm just kind of showing my version of it, and I did go for kind of a cleaner look, but you could absolutely tear some paper and kind of give it a more shabby vintage look. Completely up to you as to what you prefer. And you could ink the edges. I have seen that. I didn't do it with this one, but you easily could take, vintage photo or any brown ink that you love. If you had a purple ink that you love, you could do that too and just ink up the edges and give it a little more interest. I chose to just go really straightforward with this because it was just kind of a fun project for me to, shut my mind off and just build something really fun and pretty. Normally we would have had a live stream today, but I just have so much going on with my life and my family that I could not fit a live stream in. So I'm sorry about that for anybody who's a little bummed we didn't get to have a live today, but we will have a live stream in the next not the coming Thursday, but Thursday after. I do it every second Thursday. So watch out for that if you're at all interested joining. And yeah, so we're just kind of building the pockets now that come in this kit as well. There are the 2 pockets that are pretty straightforward. Again, you just kind of adhere that colorful flap so the inside is colored as well. And then you adhere the tabs, and we're going to add them to the folio after we build the little envelope that comes with the kit as well. So there's no, you could use double-sided tape if you'd prefer. I prefer liquid glue. I find that it just gives me a little more control, but there's no right or wrong. You could easily use double-sided tape for this and that would work just as beautifully. So here we're going to build the little envelope that comes in the kit. This is quite pretty. I'm a little bummed that you glue it down. I almost wish that I had created a little flap with it or something, just because you don't get to see the back of the envelope, and it's beautiful. The cool part though is that it is still a functioning envelope. So if I was going to send this to a pen pal, this is probably where I would add the letter, or I would stick it in one of the many pockets. But it's just kind of cool that it's a functioning envelope. So you can easily add, stickers or smaller ephemera pieces or whatever you wanted to, just to add a little more interest to the design and layout. But in this case, I don't put anything in it in this video. I just create the pocket and adhere it to the folio. Because I didn't know who exactly I was going to send this to. I just knew that it would be a really fun project to make for you guys on a day that I probably would have made this in the live. It's just that I couldn't have a live. So I kind of wanted to create the same thing just, as a video instead of as a live stream. So this is where we're going to adhere those 2, I guess they're not really pocket sleeves, envelopes. There's no right or wrong. And I considered making them extra tucks on the top and then changed my mind and just adhered them straight down. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on already that we don't need an extra tuck, but you could absolutely not adhere the top side and slide things into these as well. I chose to put some decoration in the center of these 2 tucks or pockets, however you want to call them, so that you wouldn't really be able to slide anything into them anyways, but that is an option if you wanted to. And then we're going to add the envelope to the back of the folio. And this is where I did opt to leave it as a tuck so that you could add ephemera behind the envelope as well. And you can still use the envelope as an actual spot to put things. So this is why I love these kind of things for, pen pal pockets or happy mail that I send out, because there's just so many great things you can do with them and add to them. Like I would add, washi tapes. I would add maybe a tea bag for one of my friends or pen pals, because I love tea. Tea is one of my favorite beverages. So, maybe I'd find a favorite tea and I'd put one of the tea bags in this. I'd, add all sorts of stuff. There's always a letter, of course, if I'm writing to a pen pal, that kind of stuff. Like I just like to have all these fun places to put all these things. So it's a lot of fun. And then here I just created a little spot for you to open the envelope, but it would keep the envelope closed when it wasn't being used so that it would be easier to mail. And now all of these pieces do come in the kit. And as I said, you would have to fussy cut them. I like fussy cutting, so that doesn't really bother me, but they're all pretty easy shapes to cut. So at least there's that, I think. But you do have to fussy cut the stuff. Or I guess you can use a Cricut or a cutting machine if you know how to kind of create that fine of folder. But I just fussy cut them out myself with scissors. I don't really mind. So completely up to you as to what you want to do. And then I did want to add just a few extra things. So this is where I'm going to start adding things from my own stash into this creation. I brought in my crocodile because I wanted to add some eyelets and some really beautiful sari silk to these tag pieces because I thought that would be a lot of fun. So I picked out 3 different shades of purple for my eyelets because I have 3 of these kind of tag pieces. And I'm just going to push the eyelets into them, and then I'm going to add this dyed sari silk. I did not purchase the silk. It was given to me when I made my junk journal like last year by a lovely lady who lives in the community here. So I don't know exactly where it came from, but I have fallen in love with sari silk. So I'm going to have to get my hands on some more. I know there's some fabulous Etsy shops that sell like really beautifully dyed stuff. So I'll have to look. But this one happened to match this perfectly because it's 3 different or several different shades of purple. And so I thought I would use the last little bit I had left to go into this folio just because I thought it matched beautifully. And I do also have a PO box. If you're new and you didn't know that and you were ever interested in sending, a card my direction or whatever, a letter or whatever you want to send, I do have a PO box listed in the description down below. I try really hard to open them on my vlogs when I do them. I'm a little behind on vlogs just because I've had a lot of family stuff going on, and I haven't had the energy for vlogs. They take a lot more thought from me because it's not just sitting down and filming one video in one way, right? You have to think about picking up the camera when you're doing different things and that kind of stuff. And sometimes I forget. So I do have some footage for a vlog. So I am going to have one edited here. Probably won't come out until probably September, but I will do one. I love making vlogs, though they're not the most popular content on this channel. But they're a lot of fun, and it's kind of a fun way to see the behind the scenes stuff and what's going on in my life. And, the cats pop up a lot in them and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so if you're ever interested in sending happy mail my direction, I do open it on those vlogs. So you guys can see that I did receive whatever you've sent, and I really appreciate it. And I get to kind of share it with the community that I'm building here. So that is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. And I love getting letters from you guys. Funnily enough, I am a card creator that doesn't actually get that many cards. Thankfully, a lot of you guys are so lovely, and you send cards to the PO box, and that's how I get the cards. But generally, I don't actually receive a lot of cards in my day-to-day life. So it is pretty fun when I get to open the PO box and there's something fun in there waiting for me. And then so this is where I've started now to bring in more of my own things. So these butterflies are from Spellbinders. They are the Twilight butterflies, and they brought out this whole line of these stunning butterflies, and I couldn't resist because I love butterflies and I love purple. So I bought a few of these, and I just thought this folio just screamed for these beautiful butterflies. So I added 3 of them because you guys know I love uneven numbers. And then I'm going to go in and decorate that centerpiece between the two kind of, I guess they're tucks, I don't know, pockets, whatever you want to call them. I didn't like that it was blank there, but I didn't quite know what to add. So I came up with the idea of this beautiful piece of lace, and I'm going to bring in a wax seal. I love wax seals so much. They are one of my favorite things ever to add to stuff, just because they're almost like a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of magic, and they're just so pretty. So I have a fair collection, and I had these wax seals here that were this purple shade that was just stunning for these. It's a little bit of a iridescent color. You'll see it when I hold it up. And this is how I chose to adhere the lace to the center of this folio. So I'm just going to use this wax. That's all I use to adhere this lace. You could go in with some liquid glue or double-sided tape, whatever you wanted to do, but I thought this would be kind of fun because it gives it a little bit more movement, a little more interest. And I'm going to use this beautiful rose stamper, and I'll show you it here once it's kind of cooled off, but it is stunning. And with the extra wax, I like to make little beads. And in this case, I made 6 beads, though I only use 5 on the actual folio itself. And I added them to this page as well. I added 3 to the top left corner and 2 to the bottom right corner. And I love how they look. And then here I'm going to hold up the stamp. It's not perfect, but I love it so much. I think it turned out stunning, and I'm so excited about it. And then this is where I'm going to adhere those little beads to the bottom and top of this page. And that's pretty much all of the decoration I really add to this. You could keep going. There's so many things you could do. But because I don't know who it's going to at this point, I didn't want to keep adding until I could make it a little more personalized and kind of go that way with it. So I just added these beautiful little wax gems, or I don't even know, pearls, I guess they could be. And I did have to change out the large one in the top left corner, the first one, because it kept hitting the page. Like when I flipped this, it wouldn't stay. So I did change it out for a smaller one, which you'll see here when I actually hold this folio up and show it to you in all of its glory. But this is the project I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if you're bummed that there was no live. There will be one again in 2 weeks' time, but I just couldn't make it happen today. So sorry about that. But if you watch this video all the way through, please leave me a rose emoji in the comments. It's always so wonderful to see who watches all the videos, because that is, phenomenal for the channel, and I greatly appreciate all of your guys' support. So thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you liked the video. Leave me a comment, tell me your thoughts. What do you think about these kind of projects? I'd love to know. And yeah, leave me a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday, and as I said, every second Thursday is a live. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.